We have the renowned artist and body painter Filippo Ioco, I'm going to say it as such, joining us today. In fact, he's already sitting in the studio, so
Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
As you guys know, we love to interview artists and who come to our city.
Creators, because this one is too.
Absolutely. And we're very pleased to welcome this morning a famous body painter, painting many bodies all around the world. Welcome, Filippo Ioco.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the club.
Hello, Barcelona.
Okay. Welcome, because you've just arrived from
Berlin.
Okay. Now, when you're moving from a place like Berlin, because you're moving from Germany, and I'm sure it was pretty warm and sunny out there. Why BCN?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I love the weather here. I love the Spanish culture. I love the food, the people. I lived in Puerto Rico, and living in Puerto Rico, I always heard Spain. So I thought, I want to check out Spain. Yeah. And of course, Barcelona has beautiful weather, beautiful people, beautiful beaches. It's on the Mediterranean.
I have a feeling with your line of work that you'll be going back and forth a lot between Madrid and Barcelona, though. Have you spent time in Madrid?
No, not yet. I've only been here a month and a week.
Whoa! Lucie, do you remember that? Your virginal time here in Barcelona?
Way back in the day.
That will soon be ripped off from you, sir. All right. So, let's go back a little further if we can. Okay. Whereabouts do you hail from? Because you have a very varied, interesting story.
Okay, well, I'm Sicilian, from Sicilian parents, born in Switzerland, raised in the U.S.
Not mafia.
No. You had to put that in there.
Politically incorrect, Lucas. Isn't that like saying something naughty about Mexicans in the same way? Naughty.
I say it, girl.
In the U.S., I kind of lived all over. Was raised in Detroit, lived in New York, Puerto Rico, Los Angeles, Miami, back to Los Angeles. And then I thought, I want to go back to my roots. I want to go to Europe.
Okay.
So I was actually supposed to come to Barcelona, but then somehow I found my way to Berlin.
Wow.
And now I'm in Barcelona, and I'm very happy.
Do you think that there's a connection between Berlin and Barcelona? I've heard some people making BBB, Brooklyn, Barcelona, Berlin. Do you think that there's a connection between them? Because they're both very art-driven cities, but Berlin is more... In fact, you said that the other day.
Yeah, in my opinion, yes, they are both artistically driven. But I think that Berlin is very cool, where Barcelona is very charming and very pretty and very classic. I don't think Berlin has that. And classic, I mean like the architecture, beautiful, beautiful architecture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the way that you do your work, where you've lived, does that affect how you look at life and how you look at your work? I would presume as such.
Yes, and in the body painting it does, because it allows me to travel around that city and find locations, whether it's landscapes, nature, architecture. That's that only that city has. So yes, for the body painting in that respect, it does. For the fine art, not so much, because my fine art is all about color. And exploring color and just diving into color.
How did you get started as a body painter? It's quite a fascinating thing
and
to
also
have
the
done.
fine art. Two things.
Oh, okay. Well, so we start with the fine art. The fine art, when my parents immigrated to the U.S. with me, I was put into American schools, and I did not know how to speak English. I started in the U.S. in kindergarten, and due to not being able to speak English and communicate with the world around me, I took to illustration. And they just kept passing me to the next grade. And finally, my aunt stepped in and said, wait a minute, you guys are passing this student to the next grade and he's not learning anything or even learning how to speak English,
Wow.
So they took me out. They put me one-on-one with a bilingual teacher, and she basically taught me how to speak English. I think like around 10.
Wow.
I started speaking proper English. My spelling is still bad, but the brilliant artist that I am shines through, and I don't,
Amen.
Yeah. So, and the art kind of stuck with me, and then the body painting, I've always had a fascination with the human body, with nudity, sexuality, and all that good stuff. So I thought, how can I make my fine art more interesting? How can I really have people notice what they're seeing and really get into it? And it came to me while listening to a Madonna song.
Like some of the best things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Really?
Which one?
I love the word came and Madonna.
Which
the
one?
Same word.
Oh, man.
Which song was it?
It's the one where she's running around with balloons through a club.
Deeper and deeper.
Yes, deeper and deeper. So I started envisioning bodies coming out of my canvases.
Right, okay.
And from there, my body painting art was born.
And how long have you been doing that for now?
Oh, 27 years.
Wow.
And believe it or not, my body painting career exploded in the little island that I love so much.
Which
called
is?
Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Puerto Rico.
Pinche Puerto Rico. Okay. There are more Puerto Ricans in New York State than in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell the good people at Puerto Rico and why.
I love you, Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Puerto
like
Rico
my
and Puerto
home away
Ricans,
from home. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Ricans, men and women, are just beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Yeah.
To look at.
Beautiful skin. For a body painter, whoa. Amazing skin, naturally oiled and smooth.
So you say that in an essence that your career started really booming off in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you would say that any favorite subjects or artists that you've worked with?
Wow,
Themes?
I've worked with a lot of artists. I worked with Sia, Nicki Minaj,
What was painting
Giselle.
Nicki like?
The merengue singer from Puerto Rico.
What is painting Nicki? What was painting Nicki like?
Nicki Minaj for the cover of Vibe magazine. I did her top part.
Okay.
The top half of her body.
What was the energy like with her in regards to that and the art, I wonder?
Wow, it was amazing. She was amazing. She was so sweet and beautiful to work with. And, I'm really down to earth when it comes to working with somebody because, they're going to be nude in front of me. So when I work with somebody that allows me to do what I need to do and they're very easygoing about it, it's just beautiful. This is when true art is created, when everybody, comes to the table and says, let's do this, and I've been so blessed that all, clients and models and people I've worked with have given this to me. It's amazing.
Right. What inspires you? What's motivating?
Wow. What inspires me is music. Music is the biggest part of Filippo Ioco. Music, nature, color, people, life. But music, because I'm such a visual person that when music comes on, I create little shows, little movies in my head. It just energizes me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I always say that when I die, I want to die with music playing in my ears. And in my next life, I'm an artist in this life, but in my next life, I want to come back as a black woman with a powerful set of vocal cords and kick ass.
Martha Wash style.
Yeah.
And since music's such the inspiration for Filippo, he has very kindly chosen some tracks today. And what's the first one we're going to hear?
In fact, I believe the first one that I've chosen, actually, by your choices, sir,
was an old classic that was remixed by Jamie Lewis called You Are the One by Chirone.
Yes.
The old Italian Italo disco star who just released another great album recently called Red Lips or Hot Lips or something like that. Okay, why this one?
Well, music is important to me because in my fine art, when I'm playing music, it allows me to jump onto it and ride with it. you know, and I paint. I go into another world with the music.
Yeah.
The body painting, the music is more of a background, you know, to soothe the model and stuff like that. But most of my inspiration for music was with the fine art.
Okay.
It just allows me to jump on the bandwagon and ride it, you know, like with every stroke of my hand against the canvas and.
With every stroke of my hand. Why am I thinking Taylor
I have
right now?
no idea. Let's play some music, shall we?
Okay, but also, why did you choose this one? Is this one of the things that just motivates you just to go?
It's classic. You know, it's a feel-good song.
Okay.
I like to feel good.
I do too.
I like to feel like I have power, you know, like.
For anyone who's watching it stream, he's going to start dancing right now. All right. Well, this is Shoutout mixed by Jamie Lewis for You Are the One. You are the one who is now opening up a new...
Now Barcelona resident.
Yeah.
And soon to be gallery owner. Let's hear more about your new project, Filippo.
Yes. Finally, Filippo Ioco will be opening up a gallery in Barcelona. And I'm so fucking happy.
It's been a long time coming.
I'm happy. It's going to be a gallery. And it's also going to be a photo space.
All right.
And it's at Laguna 45 and in Poblano.
See? In Poblano. Rock on. So not too far from the beach then.
3 meters from the popular gay beach.
Oh, 3 meters?
Oh, I'm sorry. 300 meters.
He's like, he sets up a little cabana there. Here I am.
300 meters.
300 meters. And so that means you're next to the Rambla there as well.
Yes, one street over, actually.
Very good.
It's a great area. Lots and lots of artists around there. We interviewed about a year ago. Daphne, Dalia Sonofree
from Studio 347.
From 138. That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you know, I couldn't have gotten this space without someone.
Oh. It's often it's who you know and being at the right time at the right place and whatnot. Who is this special someone you'd like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to Alex Baranici. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You know, I hardly know anyone here.
Because you've just arrived 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I'm a complete stranger to this person. And he just took me under his wing, and he's helped me so much. And,
God, thank you, Alex.
And this is a real man.
Okay.
This is a man.
Well, speaking of that, I'm wondering if any of the political goings-on affects your inspiration and point of view with your new work and what you want to be doing at the studio and the gallery and whatnot.
You know, no, it doesn't affect my work because I allow it not to.
Rock on.
I allow nothing to touch my work. My personal life, yes. And, you know, what is happening in the United States, I have a lot of friends there, and it's like a reality show gone mad.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, you know, nobody's perfect. We all know this, okay? But a real man, okay, is not measured by how rich he is or how self-indulged he is or self-absorbed. A real man is measured by his class, his charm, his dignity, his compassion.
Amen.
Integrity. This is a real man. Yep. And the person on the other side of this planet is lacking all of that.
We're no big fans of the man on this show, are we? None
the
whatsoever.
Cheeto and he and Voldemort.
But again, you know, no one's perfect. He has a job to do at the end of the day. He works for the people. The people do not work for him.
So I wonder what is commanding or inciting people to vote for Cheetos and populists in general. I mean, we see what's happening with Marine Le Pen right now in France, and it's just a populist wave. What happens in the Netherlands as well. My God. So why do you think people are going this route?
Well, I think, you know, people want change, you know, and our world is going into a direction that we don't really know how to grasp. I mean, just, you know, the free movement is happening all over the world, not just in Europe. Not, you know, with the internet, with the use of the internet, we're able to kind of walk everywhere, you know.
True.
I think people want change, and I think people want to know how they're going to put food on the table, how they're going to send their kids to work, to school, and how they're going to pay their health insurance. People in the United States, they care about their health insurance. They don't care about a wall or banning people. This is not going to help them put food on the table, and they possibly voted because it's all fear.
Yeah. So populism incites fear, is incited by fear.
What? This really
What's
drives
not love?
me.
It's fear.
This drives me absolutely crazy because a life of fear is no life.
Okay.
This is not why humans are here. We are capable of so much good, and if we were to use our imagination, we could. Change the world for the better. We are going into the future. My God. We are not in the Stone Age anymore.
Although we would be mistaken by some of the politics that we've been seeing in the last few months. But there you go. There you go indeed.
So, speaking of the future, what do you see in the future with your in regards, because you are open, I mean, this gallery is yours in about a day.
Yes.
And then you're ensconced now. You're ensconcing yourself in Barcelona. What would you see for your future, and how can people get a hold of you?
Well, I see, for my future, I just see greatness.
Amen.
I see greatness. Okay. This is what my life has always been about. Mm-hmm. My motto is live young at heart and always keep a smile. Mm-hmm. People can reach me through my website at www.filippo.ioco.com.
And I'm going to spell that out, folks. That's FILIPPOIOCO. Ioco.
Or just Google that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just Google it.
Yeah,
just
Google it on our social media
work, which
too,
is
darling.
Amazing. If you need any kind of inspiration, and if they're budding makeup artists, body painters, I mean, there aren't very many people better to see the work than Filippo and all of his clients.
And now he's here, y'all.
And now he is in Barcelona. You should be able to find out his new studio down there in Pobla now.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
And well, this is kind of like the end of our show, but again, we're letting you choose another song. Now, it was very interesting that you chose this one because I couldn't find it in the streaming services and whatnot that we use but then I found it on a different site that we're going to use right now. Thank you to our sound man, Alex Carmona, we're just thanking the Alexes today on this show, and that's what we're doing.
And this is somebody that I really want to work with, too.
Gaga and Tom Ford, or both?
Gaga.
Okay, hell yeah. I have no idea.
I think we could make magic together.
I think you will. We're going to say that you are going to make magic together.
Stephanie, if you're listening, then you know where to find him.
Lady Geminata, if you're listening. This is actually her version, and some, I guess, perhaps Niles Rodgers as well. This was I Want Your Love, or their version. And folks, we will see you back here next week, as always.
We will indeed. Have
Same
a good
bad
one.
time and channel.
Bye-bye.
Bye.